Most people don't fail because they're not smart. They fail because they refuse to face the truths that would make them powerful. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they weren't just philosophers. They were strategists, survivors, men who lived in a world far more brutal than ours. And they learned to turn intelligence into a weapon. They discovered something terrifying. The biggest threats to your mind are not ignorance, but comfort, distraction, ego, and emotional chaos. A truly intelligent person is not the one who knows the most, but the one who sees reality as it is and adapts faster than everyone else. These 8 ruthless Stoic lessons are not gentle. They were forged in war, betrayal, and loss. If you apply them, you will think sharper, act smarter, and become someone very difficult to manipulate. Let's begin. Intelligence is not a gift. It's a consequence of mental clarity, of seeing the world as it truly is, of mastering your emotions before they master you. The Stoics understood this. They lived in an empire where one wrong decision could mean death, where emotional weakness was exploited, where thinking clearly meant survival. And they realized something most people never accept. The greatest enemy to your intelligence is not the world outside. It's you, your ego, your emotional reactivity, your mental laziness, your refusal to think without checking yourself. True intelligence is dangerous because it makes you immune to manipulation. It makes you see patterns others miss. It makes you act while others freeze. The Stoics didn't seek wisdom for peace. They sought it for survival. Mental survival in a brutal world. And what they learned can transform how you think, decide, and win. Just before moving on to the 8 lessons, if you want to build your financial freedom, click on the link in the description or on the pinned comment. These are the 8 ruthless lessons. Lesson 1. Most people don't think, they react. Picture this. A decision moment. Someone criticizes you. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Someone questions your work. What happens in your mind in that first second? Your heart rate spikes. Your jaw clenches. A voice inside screams to defend, to attack, to prove them wrong. That's not thinking. That's reacting. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He knew that the first emotion you feel is almost always a liar. It's ancient wiring. Survival instinct from a time when threats were physical and immediate. Modern psychology calls this system one thinking. Fast, automatic, emotional. It kept our ancestors alive when a shadow in the grass meant danger. But in the modern world, it makes you weak. It makes you predictable. It makes you controllable. Intelligent people pause. They create space between stimulus and response. Just 10 seconds. That's all it takes to shift from reactive animal to strategic thinker. Here's your application. The next time something triggers you, count to 10 before you respond. In those 10 seconds, ask yourself, is this emotion showing me truth or protecting my ego? He who controls his reaction controls the outcome. Lesson 2. Comfort makes you weak. The Stoics practiced something strange. They would sleep on hard floors, wear rough clothing, go without food. Not because they were masochists, but because they understood a principle most modern people have forgotten. If your life has no friction, your mind atrophies. Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress," saying to yourself, "Is this the condition that I feared?" Why? Because comfort is seductive. It whispers that you deserve ease, that you've earned rest, that struggle is unnecessary. And slowly, without you noticing, your tolerance for difficulty shrinks. Your ability to endure vanishes. Your mind becomes soft. Modern neuroscience confirms this. Your brain builds resilience through stress, not through comfort. Every time you choose the easy path, you're training yourself to be weaker tomorrow. Look around. Cheap dopamine everywhere. Infinite scroll. One-click entertainment. Instant gratification. And people wonder why they can't focus, can't execute, can't think clearly for more than 5 minutes. Here's your application. Introduce micro-frictions into your day. Cold showers. difficult conversations, tasks you've been avoiding, not to punish yourself, but to keep your mind sharp. Comfort is a slow poison. Lesson 3. You must train yourself to see reality brutally clearly. There's a concept in Stoicism called amor fati, love of fate. It means accepting reality exactly as it is, not as you wish it to be. Most people live in a fantasy. They see what they want to see. They believe what makes them comfortable. They ignore warning signs because acknowledging them would require change. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." But you can't find the way if you're lying to yourself about what's blocking it. Psychologists call these cognitive biases. Confirmation bias. You see evidence that supports what you already believe. Optimism bias. You think bad things happen to others, not you. Dunning-Kruger effect. You overestimate what you know. These aren't flaws. They're features of the human mind. But they make you vulnerable. They make you blind. They make you stupid. Dangerous intelligence requires brutal honesty. With yourself first, then with the world. Here's your application. 5 minutes every morning. Write down one uncomfortable truth you've been avoiding. About your work, your relationships, your habits. Don't justify it. Don't soften it. Just see it. Reality doesn't care how you feel, but it rewards those who face it. Lesson 4. Your ego is the biggest obstacle to intelligence. Seneca had students who were brilliant but unteachable. They knew so much that they couldn't learn anything new. Their ego had become a wall between them and growth. He wrote, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Your ego is not your confidence. Your ego is your need to be right. Your need to appear smart. Your need to defend your position even when evidence says you're wrong. Neuroscience shows us why. When someone challenges your beliefs, your brain treats it like a physical threat. The amygdala fires. Cortisol floods your system. You go into fight mode. Not because you're in danger, but because your identity feels attacked. Intelligent people train themselves out of this. They separate their ideas from their identity. They say 3 words most people can't say. I was wrong. Not as weakness, as strength, as evolution, as proof that their commitment to truth is stronger than their commitment to being right. Here's your application. Once a day, say this phrase out loud. I might be wrong about this. Choose something you believe strongly. Sit with the discomfort. Notice how your mind resists. The mind that refuses correction chooses ignorance. Lesson 5. Silence is a superpower. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the world. He could have spoken any time about anything, but he wrote in his journal, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Most people talk to fill space, to prove they're smart, to dominate conversation, to feel important. And in doing so, they reveal everything. Their insecurities, their motivations, their weaknesses. The Stoics knew that silence is not passive. It's strategic. When you're silent, you're observing, analyzing, understanding. You're gathering information while others give theirs away. Modern research on negotiation confirms this. The person who talks more loses leverage. The person who asks questions controls the frame. The person who can sit in silence holds power. But there's something deeper. Silence forces you to think. When you can't immediately verbalize, you have to process, reflect, consider. Your intelligence deepens. Here's your application. For 48 hours, practice minimalist speech. Speak only when necessary. When someone asks your opinion, pause 5 seconds before responding. When you want to interject, wait. Let the silence breathe. The quietest person in the room often understands the most. Lesson 6. You become intelligent by eliminating, not adding. The modern world tells you intelligence means knowing more, reading more books, taking more courses, adding more information. The Stoics knew the opposite was true. Seneca wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." Real intelligence is not about accumulation. It's about subtraction, removing the noise so the signal becomes clear, eliminating distractions so focus becomes possible, cutting away complexity so simplicity reveals truth. Your brain has limited processing power. Every notification, Every open tab, every unfinished task, every useless commitment, they all drain your mental energy. Not in ways you notice, but in ways that make you slower, foggier, weaker. Complexity is the refuge of confused minds. Simple systems work. Simple principles scale. Simple thinking cuts through chaos. Here's your application. Every day, for the next week, subtract one thing. One app, one commitment, one habit, one relationship that drains you, one belief that no longer serves you. Remove the noise. The signal appears. Lesson 7. You must study human nature ruthlessly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Begin each day by telling yourself, 'Today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness.'" Not cynicism, realism. He understood that if you don't understand how people actually behave, you'll be shocked, disappointed, and manipulated. Most people operate on scripts, predictable patterns. Social psychology has mapped them. Authority bias. People obey perceived authority. Reciprocity. People feel obligated to return favors. Social proof. People follow what others do. These aren't evil. They're features of human psychology. But if you don't understand them, you're playing a game where everyone else knows the rules and you don't. Dangerous intelligence means seeing people clearly, not as you wish they were, not as they pretend to be, but as they consistently behave. Here's your application. Every day, observe 3 human behaviors. In meetings, in conversations, online. Notice patterns. Notice what people say versus what they do. Notice what motivates them. Understanding people gives you strategic advantage. Lesson 8. Master yourself, and the world can't manipulate you. Epictetus was born a slave. He had no political power, no wealth, no status, but he wrote something that changed philosophy forever. No man is free who is not master of himself. Self-control is the highest form of intelligence, not because it makes you rigid, but because it makes you untouchable. When you control your attention, algorithms can't hijack it. When you control your emotions, people can't provoke you. When you control your desires, marketing can't exploit you. When you control your reactions, chaos can't destabilize you. Neuroscience shows us the battleground. Your prefrontal cortex versus your amygdala. Your rational mind versus your emotional impulses. Every moment, you're choosing which one leads. Most people let emotions drive while reason sits in the passenger seat, pretending to be in control. Intelligent people reverse this. They feel emotions fully, but they don't obey them automatically. Here's your application. Create a daily self-control plan. One small thing you will not do, even though you want to. One difficult thing you will do, even though you don't want to. Build this muscle every single day. When you control yourself, you become untouchable. The world belongs to those who see further. Not further into the future, but further into reality. Deeper into human nature. Clearer through their own illusions. Intelligence is not mystical. It's not genetic. It's not luck. It's lucidity plus discipline. It's the willingness to face uncomfortable truths and act on them while others hide. This is what the Stoics called the intelligence of action. Not just thinking, but thinking clearly, then executing despite emotion, despite comfort, despite ego. Here's your final challenge. Apply one ruthless lesson per day for 8 days. Day 1, pause before reacting. Day 2, introduce friction. Day 3, face one brutal truth. Day 4, admit you might be wrong. Day 5, practice silence. Day 6, eliminate something. Day 7, observe human nature. Day 8, exercise self-control. You won't recognize your mind after, because dangerous intelligence isn't about domination. It's about clarity. And in a world full of confusion, the clear-thinking person becomes powerful. The Stoics knew this 2,000 years ago. They left you the map. Now you have to walk the path.